physical condition test, really, that we do every year when the players come back. We finished the last 4 quarters.
This Auburn football season, believed by many to be the greatest in Auburn history, began in stark, dismal, disbelieving tragedy. Greg Pratt, Auburn's starting fullback, collapsed and died following a series of sprints to determine the team's returning physical conditioning. It was Saturday, August 20th, 1983. 4 days passed before Coach Pat Dye could talk about football and about his team's bright promise.
I think to get a true understanding of this football team, I think that you would have to go person to person, man to man, position by position, and understand a little bit of the chemical makeup of it, and that, I think that would kind of tell a story in itself. The development of Randy Campbell, the recruiting, and the fact that we were able to get Bo Jackson, a running back that really, he was not that highly recruited. Lionel James being recruited out of high school as a 150-pounder, what he's done. A center, a freshman center that I think is going to be the most physical center that we've had, and I think is going to be a great football player, and Ben Tamarella, and another walk-on that's going to play with him that will actually compete for starting time, and Yan Cowart. The development of the defensive football team, hardship on Donnie Humphrey that gave him a 5th year, moving Dow Altman from linebacker to nose guard, and Doug Smith transferring from East Carolina and coming in here. All of this, all of this kind of fell into place, and it's coming to this season. We still have some unanswered questions, but we've got a tremendous, I think, cohesion there of experience and maturity among the seniors, and the youthful enthusiasm and eagerness with the young people. And if it comes together to build that unity and oneness that all championship teams have, we've got a chance.
It was during the summer that the Auburn coaching staff, mindful of the tough schedule that lay ahead and aware that their first 5 opponents would have at least 2 weeks to prepare for them, had developed a careful, extensive, day-to-day preparation plan. With the death of Greg, they fell back on that plan. The cure for the heartache and the uncertainty was work, taking it a day at a time, staying with the program. It carried them through. When the opener with Southern Miss came, the Auburn team was ready. The defense was magnificent. Southern Miss made only 126 yards on the ground, just 98 through the air. Greg Carr, who would be the defensive player of the week in the SEC, recovered a Southern fumble to set up the Tigers at the 12-yard line. 2 plays later, Lionel James scored Auburn's first touchdown. The little train was bound for a 172-yard night. On their next possession, Auburn went 85 yards in 8 plays. Bo Jackson, the final 10. Sam DeJarnette, a former Tiger, and the Eagle offense just couldn't get anything going. The defense would not allow it. After a second quarter field goal, they never saw Auburn territory while the game was in doubt. Randy Campbell's pass to Bo Jackson midway of the 4th quarter sent Auburn out to a 24-3 opening victory.
You feel good about this team, about getting that first one under your belt?
Yes, sir, I do, and it's a stepping stone to where our destiny lies.
How do you feel all your babies in the secondary did?
Well, I think they did pretty good. We played a lot of people, and the thing I guess I was most impressed was the fact that they played like they practiced. They didn't let the game conditions and the crowd and all that excite them. I think they played calm and under control. And of course, we made a lot of mistakes. Some mistakes hurt us, some didn't. But at the same time, I guess I was very pleased.
Sign this ball
and send it to Ms. Pratt. I want everybody in here to sign off. The great football teams improve when you win. They're not satisfied with their performances.
Count it off. 1, 2, 3. Crack 'em, Tigers. Just like Beagles. Give 'em hell, you war damn Eagles. Hey!
It shall remain the one great mystery of this fabulous football team. Why they weren't ready to play when Texas came to town. Yes, the Longhorns were good, national championship caliber. They had pointed to Auburn since spring training. But it wasn't Texas. It was Auburn digging itself a 20-0 hole in the first half. Great individual plays like this one didn't help. Auburn won the second half, but they couldn't overcome their earlier sins. They didn't know it then, but it would cost them the national championship.
Some kind of way we didn't get the message across to you. The kind of football team we were playing against. I think that if you'd have just, and I don't know, but just, I know you were playing a fine football team. You was ready to play, no question about it. But if you eliminate the mistakes on the kicking game, the breakdowns there, you eliminate the turnovers on our part, two things that we dwell on all the time, and you play your heart out, we got a chance to beat Texas. Outside of that, we don't have a chance. And of course, all those things occurred in the first half. I'm mighty proud of you for not quitting. Just hanging in there and fighting them and battling them in the second half. Still got a chance to have a great football season. No question about that. You have a little gut check now. Today, tonight. See how much courage you got. Get back up off the ground. Get your head up. Get ready to play Tennessee.
Auburn flew to Knoxville after a week of soul searching. They were a team looking for an identity. Randy Campbell had been roundly criticized, brutally ridiculed on one Saturday afternoon talk show. His stats were no consolation, just 3 completions and 26 attempts. The Auburn offense was searching. The Tiger defense stopped Tennessee in the second quarter. Gerald Robinson caused the fumble. Tommy Powell recovered. Tommy Agee got 8 as the Tigers headed goalward. Randy Campbell pitched it to Bo Jackson. First down. 4 plays later, 4th and goal. Jackson over the top. Auburn led 7-0. Just before half, Auburn went to the air to Woods, then to Gaines, finally to Lionel James. Del Greco's field goal gave the struggling Tigers a 10-7 halftime lead. Auburn started the second half throwing. Campbell would be a 60% passer the rest of the year, starting on this day. Bo Jackson showed his awesome athletic ability on a touchdown that was called back. Tennessee's offense was feeling Tiger wrath. Cockrell was hit by Doug Smith. Gerald Robinson arrived early on 3rd and 11. The Vols had to punt again. Campbell continued to throw. Bo Jackson began to punish the Vol defense. This touchdown made it 19-7. As the fourth quarter opened, a young freshman sent 95,000 to their programs to find his name. Trey Gaines broke the game open with an 81-yard punt return. The Tigers were back with a 37-14 pasting of proud Tennessee. The Vols would lose only once the rest of the year.
I don't know if I've ever been prouder of a football team than I am you today. You overcame a lot of adversity from getting up off the ground after losing that one last week to having people hurt, playing hurt, sucking your guts up, other folks playing better. All of the things that evolves around football, you just played out there today.
We figure that we'll, move up and back to make them check off to the quick stuff in the fade. And, just try to use quickness and speed to recover and just tip the ball. Hopefully I tried to intercept it, but couldn't get to it.
We made a lot of good plays out there. We still got a lot that we can work on, but it's nothing that we can't correct in practice. Picked it up a little bit, and we got to them a little bit in the second half.
Get going.
Well, I just started dodging everybody because, I'm looking up at everybody like this, and it just, the hole opened up and got a few blocks, and that was it.
This is really the first game where you played in the heat of battle, right?
Yes, sir.
How'd you feel?
Feels good.
Had a couple of catches?
Yes, sir.
They were giving you all that out, and Randy was getting it on the money, huh?
Yes, sir. They gave it to us all afternoon, so we took advantage of it.
Flat being blown away business and everything helped you, made you get ready this week?
I think it did. Everybody was real just downright mad before the game started because of some things that had been said, and we felt like we'd let ourselves down, let our teammates down, our fans. And I hate that we lost last week, but it helped us get ready for this game.
The following Saturday brought the most exciting finish in a long time at Auburn's Jordan-Hare Stadium. Auburn-Florida State began with an exciting play and certainly ended with several. Randy Campbell completed 2 clutch fourth down passes that kept Auburn's do-or-die drive going and gave them the winning touchdown.
4th and 5 calls a seam route to Ed West, the tight end. And they had a squat corner, so we had to read him. If he dropped back, we were going to pitch the ball to Lionel. And if he came up, we were going to throw the pass to Ed. And he came up for the pitch, and Ed was wide open, made a great play.
And the ball was there. Lionel play.
That was a play that we're using our Minuteman offense. They had a busted assignment on that play. The formation caught them by surprise when we went out there because I saw the defensive backs hollering and screaming for the other side to come over and help, and they only had 2 guys and we had 3 out there, and Lionel was wide open.
Auburn scored on its first possession. Campbell to tight end Jeff Parks. It was 7-0 in the first 2 minutes. Florida State's Kevin Lowry was everything they said he was and more. He tossed them into the end zone, 7-7 in the first. Al Del Greco kicked a 45-yard field goal to make it 10-7. On the final play of the half, Campbell hit Tommy Agee. The play covered 27 yards and gave Auburn a big boost and a 20-10 halftime lead. Lowry moved the Seminoles into scoring position to open the second half, but Harold Hallman got to him and stopped the drive. The Seminoles stopped Auburn on 4th and 1 as the fourth quarter opened. Lowry then took them into the end zone. Florida State had the lead, 24-20 in the fourth quarter. The Tigers began their do-or-die drive with 6:35 left in the game. AG got 7. Campbell to Gaines, 11 yards to the FSU 37. Then came 4th and 5. Campbell coolly hit Ed West for the first down. Finally, 4th and 8. Campbell recognized the confusion in the secondary, the pass to an injured Lionel James, and the little train somehow made the corner of the end zone. But Kevin Lowry had 2 minutes left, a lifetime for Auburn fans as he took the Seminoles down the field. At the Auburn 26, Donnie Humphrey pressured him, and Greg Carr made the game-winning interception and ignited an Auburn celebration.
Well, I'm not really sure. I'd heard after the play that Donnie pressured him and maybe forced him to underthrow the ball a little bit. I think the whole defensive line putting pressure on him forced that bad pass.
It was opening day at Keeneland. On the Saturday, Auburn faced the upstart Kentucky Wildcats in Lexington. On that beautiful October evening, Clayton Buford set up Auburn's first score on a reverse that carried 34 yards to the Kentucky 4. Bo Jackson scored on the next play. Kentucky drove for a touchdown and might have been headed for the lead when David King picked off a Jenkins pass. The little guy from Mobile was unstoppable. Kentucky's tough wide tackle 6 defense, which had stymied Auburn the year before, did not respect the running of Randy Campbell. And the senior quarterback made him pay. 2 second-quarter touchdown runs, the second with just 9 seconds remaining on the clock, gave Auburn a 28-7 halftime advantage. Auburn's defense stuffed the Wildcats on their opening possession of the second half. Donnie Humphrey, Quincy Williams, Jimmy Warren all had key plays. Auburn drove, and Bo Jackson made one of many memorable runs. The talented sophomore ran through half the Kentucky defense for 16 yards and a touchdown. The 49-21 victory ended a 5-week stretch when every team the Tigers had faced had at least 2 weeks to get ready for them.
I told all of you, Thursday night, we're going to take tomorrow off. Now, wait just a minute now. Don't get too excited. I'm not doing it. I'm doing it because we go. Make sure you go to church. I just want you to kind of get away from football and not too far away from it. We can't get mine back on it Monday, but I just think you need a day of rest. We've been pushing hard, and you've done everything we've asked you to do. And I tell you now, playing these first 5 football games like you have with every one of the teams you playing being fresh, you probably don't realize what you've overcome yourself, but I do.
Auburn obviously deserved and needed some rest, but they waited till the first half of Georgia Tech to take that rest. Jimmy Warren's interception ended a 16-play opening Tech drive during which the Jackets manhandled the Auburn defense. Auburn showed its offense only once in the first half when Tommy Agee capped a 67-yard drive with this touchdown run. Georgia Tech slipped a man deep in the second quarter and took a 10-7 lead to the dressing room. Pat Dye issued a stinging indictment to his team at the half. He simply was not going to let them ruin their season here in Atlanta against an inferior team. Bo Jackson's fumble on the opening play of the second half appeared to open the door to a Tech victory. But the fired-up Auburn defense was not going to let it happen. Humphrey and Beasley and Carr stopped Tech cold at the Auburn 18-yard line. Tech had to settle for a field goal. The tenacity of the Auburn defense spilled over to the offense. The Tigers started at the 22. Lionel James got 19 on a big run. Randy ran for 14. And then fought his way into the end zone. The Tigers had the lead 14-13, and they were just getting started. Defense had turned the game around. They were warming to the task. Humphrey, Ottman, Doug Smith, the senior offensive front, took command, stopping Tech cold the rest of the way. Meanwhile, Bo Jackson was running for a touchdown. The grinding Auburn wishbone caused Tech to overplay. Chris Wood slipped behind the secondary, and Campbell made it look easy. Auburn's second half comeback buried Tech 31-13, and the Tigers went home a better football team. Back to Jordan-Hare Stadium. The Tigers anxious to begin that stretch drive for the title, but first there was the matter of Mississippi State. Lionel James put Auburn in front on a 74-yard touchdown run, the first time Auburn had the ball. The defense jumped John Bond. Gerald Robinson recovered a Bond fumble to stop State in the first quarter. And Tommy Powell's interception of a Bond pass set up Auburn's second touchdown. Campbell threw to Bo Jackson for the score. It was 14-0 Auburn in the first. Any hope State had were erased just before half when the Auburn defense stopped them 3 times inside their 8-yard line, forcing a field goal. A freshman with a bright future showed his talent. In the fourth quarter, Brett Fullwood scored from 8 yards out. It was 28-6 Auburn. State managed a meaningless TD to make the final 28-13. The Auburn dressing room was unusually quiet following the game. Their thoughts were not of the victory just won, but the challenge of the Florida Gators 1 week hence.
There'll be no curfew tonight, but if you got the right thing in mind and you got your mind in the right place, you're not going to abuse the fact that you don't have a curfew, because next week is going to be a very demanding week in every respect, from a mental standpoint and preparation and getting you playing ready. You know we're going to be playing a much superior football team than what we played today.
I only live like 35 or 40 minutes away from Gainesville, and a lot of the guys that I played high school with, they're playing for the University of Florida. And I had an opportunity to go there, and I turned it down to come here, and I'm glad I'm here, and I'm just going to be waiting for next week.
They're a tough team, play hard, and we just got to play 60 minutes of good football to beat them.
They're the best. You know, I feel that Florida going to determine the Sugar Bowl, because we got to play Florida, and then next week Florida got to play Georgia. So this next game is going to depend a lot on the Sugar Bowl. So I feel that we're going to be ready, and we know what it's going to take, and I think we're on the road to it.
It was good that we came together today and not wait until next week, because we'll need all we can get next week.
It's a big game.
It's a big game. It's a payback. If the front play well, the team going to play well, because it's just where it all starts set, right up front.
Right up front. Right there where the rubber meets the road.
That's it.
Got any memories of a year ago next week?
Well, you wouldn't be a football player if you didn't. You know, it's going to be a big challenge for us, and I'm sure Florida's going to be ready for us, and I think the fans will get the money's worth when they get here.
Jordan-Hare was a frenzy. 2 top 10 teams. The winner would be the favorite for the Sugar Bowl. Auburn tried to knock the Gators out early. Bo Jackson stunned the Florida defense, going 55 yards on Auburn's first possession. Greg Carr stopped Anderson on 3rd and 3. Florida could not move the ball. Auburn could. Campbell to Jeff Parks to set up a touchdown. Randy carried it in. Auburn 14, Florida nothing. First quarter. Lionel James ran 17 yards in the second quarter, and Auburn took a 21-7 lead to the halftime dressing room. Early in the second, one of the season's big plays came. Neil Anderson appeared to have scored, but the officials gave Auburn the ball at the 20. Only the replay revealed what the official had seen. Tommy Powell had stripped Anderson of the ball just before he crossed the goal line. The ball then rolled out of the end zone, giving Auburn possession at the 20. Bo Jackson completed the stunning turn of events by going 80 yards on the very next play. 28-7 Auburn, but it still was not over. The Auburn defense was never better than this. 4 times the Gators punched inside from the 3-yard line. They got 2. Then they lost a yard. They got it back to the 1 on 3rd down. 4th and goal. Anderson stopped. Gerald Robinson ended up with the ball. Auburn hung on for a 28-21 victory over the Florida Gators. Bo Jackson gained 196 yards, scored 2 touchdowns, and had some nice things to say about his offensive line.
Very good blocking on the offensive line part. And I haven't thanked them yet, but I'm going to. Well, I may buy all of them dinner this week or something. Buy them a candy bar or something.
Pat Dye looked ahead to another top 10 team.
Just like you are. Now, we don't have to beat Maryland to go to the Sugar Bowl, but we got to beat Maryland to have a chance to win a national championship down the road.
and Randy Campbell celebrated a birthday.
I've been around a long time, but I don't believe I've ever been around one that wanted to whip Florida as bad as he did. Hey, how old are you today?
Yesterday, 23.
23. How about a little happy birthday? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Randy. Happy birthday to you. Congratulations.
It seemed that Auburn was destined to play all the great college quarterbacks of 1983. Cockrell of Tennessee, Lowry of Florida State, Bond of Mississippi State, Peace of Florida, and Boomer Esiason of Maryland. Could he throw? This pass gave Maryland a 17-14 lead. The Terps were working on a big upset in the third quarter. But Tommy Agee was working on a career day of his own. The redshirt freshman had gone 61 yards early in the game. And then with Auburn nursing a slim 21-17 lead in the fourth quarter, Agee went 44 for another big touchdown. He had 219 yards rushing. Bo Jackson had 115. Lionel James had 105. And still the game was in doubt until Quincy Williams sacked Boomer and Donnie Humphrey fell on the ball in the end zone for the final Auburn score. It was 35-23, Auburn's 8th victory in 9 tries. In the dressing room, Pat Dye got a birthday shower.
He's 44 years old tomorrow. Let's get
ask everybody to dump him in the shower and wet him up.
All right. Talk about you guys. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday goes down. Go back. Happy birthday to you. You getting old. You're getting old. You need some new shoes.
I wasn't expecting to get the ball as much. I thought they was going to be stopping, the inside game like the other teams were. And they just was running outside, and they was giving the ball to me and Randy, and we took advantage of it.
Did you know that Donnie was on the ball?
Yes. As soon as I looked up, I found the ball, and I seen Donnie jump on it. And so I tried to get it before he did.
Tell me about old Donnie Humphrey getting on that ball.
I don't think we'll ever live it down in practice next week.
Are you going to be able to put up with Donnie Humphrey this week?
I don't know. He talks enough as it is, but I know it's going to be bad this week.
They're all saying, all your buddies on the front are saying, boy, you're going to be hard to live with next week.
No, because this game is over with now.
You had 3 backs go over 100 yards today, one over 200. How does that make you feel?
Great. They deserve it. They're great runners, and I'm just glad that we could block for them.
The way we take our satisfaction is them gaining their yards and a victory for us. That's all our satisfaction. That makes us feel great.
For a defensive guy, Donnie Humphrey's not bad, eh?
Oh, he's terrific. I hate to block him, though.
Every snap today?
Everyone except Warren.
You gonna sleep good tonight?
Very good. Very good.
You all ended up running the football at him today. You had 3 guys to go over 100, one over 200. Is that what you look for?
That's what we had to do to win the ball game. And they played the same defense as Kentucky. And the only way to beat that defense is run right at them. And that's what we did.
Let them see that we can run the ball, up the middle. We don't have to run the option as as a wishbone team.
Auburn bussed to Athens, Georgia to decide the host role in the Sugar Bowl. Auburn would have to take it away from the Georgia Dogs. They owned it for the last 3 years. Defense wins the big ones, and Auburn's defense was ready. Lastinger fumbled early. Quincy Williams got it, setting up Auburn's only touchdown. No doubt Bo Jackson picked up All-American support after the national television audience saw this run to set up the touchdown. With Jackson's block on the corner, Lionel James walked in. Auburn 7, Georgia nothing. Georgia saw Auburn territory once in the first half, but only for an instant. Doug Smith took his man and the ball carrier on 3rd and 3. Georgia had to punt. Al Del Greco kicked Auburn to a 13-0 halftime lead. Georgia had 3 first downs and just 54 yards of total offense. In the third quarter, Lastinger tried for the first down at the Auburn 33 on 4th and 1. He did not make it. 2 short field goal misses in the fourth quarter kept Auburn from putting the Dogs away. Lastinger found Herman Archie in the end zone with just 2 minutes in the game, but suddenly Georgia had a chance. They got the ball back on the onside kick. The magnificent Auburn defense was called on one more time. Quincy Williams cornered Lastinger, a 4-yard loss. 2 short passes actually lost more yardage. And on 4th and 16, Jimmy Warren batted Georgia's Sugar Bowl hopes away. Auburn 13, Georgia 7.
I knew it all the time.
Here's the game ball.
Sugar!
You played yourself a game of a lifetime, didn't you?
Yeah, it was about time. I mean, I hadn't had one like this all year. And it couldn't happen no better time than now against Georgia.
How do you feel about it? Going home now.
Sweet. How about them dogs?
I got a feeling the Tigers going to the Sugar Bowl. I got a feeling the Tigers going to the Sugar Bowl.
It's my job to stay underneath, and we got a man over the top. And so I was hanging a little bit, let him get a little bit in front of me where I can bait the quarterback in the throwing, and he did. I wanted to intercept it, but I missed. I said, I'll just knock it down.
Hey, which one of you guys is Rod Middleton?
Me. What? I'm getting a little time. Oh, no.
I thank God that we won the way we played. I mean, you were there, and we didn't really execute our offense at all this second half. And Georgia's type of ball club where you nearly have to be perfect. I think the key of making up from not executing our offense was we didn't have any turnovers, Phil, and Georgia had 2, and that was the big, effect in the game.
Tommy's 219 yards last year. They had to take away our fullback threat, and with them taking away that, it leaves something else open. And I think Brandon did a great job, and he just pitched it, and the corners were there, and our split ends did a great job of blocking.
Think this team can win big games now?
Yeah, I knew it from the jump.
We got a lot of young guys, and they're growing and they're pulling together and seem to be having fun. That's what it's all about.
For the first time in a long time, Alabama was the underdog, and the Tide nearly pulled it off. Auburn's rush punished Walter Lewis in the early going. Ben Thomas and John Daly had sacks. As the second quarter opened, Bo Jackson clocked in as 1984's frontrunner for the Heisman. But Alabama's Lewis was getting some time to throw, and Joey Jones can get open. 7-7. Another Lewis TD pass just before the half. 14-10 Alabama. Opening the second half, Auburn's defense stopped Bama 2 straight times. Each time, Auburn's Del Greco followed with field goals to give Auburn a 16-14 lead. But Alabama answered on their third possession. Ricky Moore made a big run. Alabama led 20-16, but only for a little while. Bo Jackson put Auburn in front to stay on a 71-yard run late in the third. Bo would amass 256 yards on the day and become the most talked about college player in the land. As the rain descended on Legion Field, Auburn's defense went to work protecting a 3-point lead. Victor Beasley was the man in the right place at the right time. 2 times, an interception of a Lewis pass and an Andy Gothard fumble recovery. Auburn beat Alabama for the second straight year and shared the SEC football championship with no one.
Hey, he knew we wasn't supposed to have him over there till we won it all. Hey, listen. Now, I don't want y'all to have anything any stronger than these cigars.
I was thought of her, but I knew they weren't going to score on us. I knew they might tie us if anything, but they weren't going to win the ball game.
Ben, you never have smoked a cigar before, have you?
That's true, but this day like today, like Coach Dot said, we didn't go out there. We didn't do nothing the first half, but we came back out the second half and we showed a lot of class that that we didn't want to share the SEC with nobody. So we went out there and put our guts on the line.
We knew they couldn't throw the ball while it was raining. They were going to come right at us with a run, and we knew that.
I'll tell you, you guys hit him some, and he stayed with us.
Yeah, we hit him one time and took some punch out of him, but he was still up and going, so he's a great quarterback.
Their offense is about as good as you've seen.
Yeah, they was finessing us a lot today. He was running a lot of different formation stuff for us, and was trying to confuse it.
Hey, Doug gonna show you guys how to eat oysters in New Orleans?
Doug doesn't know how to eat oysters.
You want to bet?
It was a great win for us, but I don't think none of the fellas here are accepting the win without Greg.
I think, they've been thinking about him a great deal. And I just want to take this time to say, hey, Greg, the season was for you, and I think we did a hell of a job for you. And we just got one more to go, and it's Michigan in the Sugar Bowl. And, hey, buddy, we're going to get that one for you. I'm saying this for myself and your teammates also.
Auburn's 6 days in New Orleans was a dream come true. It was a special Sugar Bowl, the 50th renewal of the great New Orleans Classic, and the Tigers had themselves some fun. They practiced hard. Randy Campbell loved the Superdome.
I think it's awesome. It's great.
Feel good. You look good throwing the ball.
I felt better throwing the ball yesterday than I ever have since I've been here. And I don't know if it was because of the lights or because it's indoors or what, but something about the place excited me.
Pat Dye found time to reflect on the season and on becoming an Auburn man.
I've never been around a school that in its own humble way demanded or got as much respect and love and spirit and enthusiasm from its people. I mean, it is absolutely different. And the Auburn people don't have to have a great football program to love Auburn. They don't have to have a great anything except Auburn. That's the reason it's so easy to recruit to Auburn, because of the spirit of the school itself. I just hope that our football team will measure up to the standards of the school, and we can play the role that the football program is supposed to play at Auburn. I think we have, and I think that we've got probably a new kindle enthusiasm. I certainly don't think it's the first one or anything special about it to Auburn people, because they've always had great spirit. And you could feel it when you went to other places, but you didn't know why until you become a part of it.
It was not pretty, but it was typical. The Tigers had won on defense all season long. They had to beat Michigan the same way. Finally, it came down to one last-ditch do-or-die drive.
Dear Heavenly Father, let us take this moment to use and remember and glorify your name. Make every member of the team understand and realize what the true meaning of this relationship is. Let us use the experience of this season the experience of each battle, the victories and the defeat, to make us stronger and better men for the future. Lead us and guide us in the coming weeks, and
And we look back to that hot August day when we asked you to give us the courage and the strength and what was necessary to face life head on and be winners. Thank you for giving us that courage and that strength and blessing us throughout the year. Thank you for the relationships on this football team between the players with each other and the coaching staff, the many fans and the people that love this team so much. Again, we thank you for just giving us the privileges of being here. Give us a safe journey home. Amen. Amen. It's been a great year, and you won't realize tonight how big your win was. We start out, men, and it's a three-way game. Defense, kicking, and offense. Or offense, defense, and kicking. It doesn't make any difference. It takes all three. It takes poise and confidence, guts and character, and all the things you just played out there tonight. I couldn't be any more proud of you if you'd have won 45-0. Now I'm telling you, because what you did and the way you did it is what's so important. And men, you're going to be in a lot of tough battles next year, year after year after year, individual battles with yourself. You won't have teammates with you. But if you'll just look back and think about that January the 2nd night in New Orleans, gain a little strength from it, it'll help you down the road. Because there's a lot of guts laid on the line out there tonight, not only by Auburn, but by Michigan too. Give them all the credit in the world. Enjoy your win. It's been a great year for you. I'll probably be up in my room at the hotel. If any of you seniors want to drop by there, I'd like to visit with you later on tonight. And I mean, you don't have to, but if you'd like to, I'd like to spend a little space time. 1196. 1196. I love every one of you, and I know you got to love each other. It's been a great year, man. I appreciate everybody.
On behalf of the Sugar Bowl, I'm only the president. We're presenting you all with the trophy champion of the Sugar Bowl 1984.
You've been voted by the press the outstanding player of the game. This has been awarded to you in memory of the 2 founding members and all of the deceased Sugar Bowl members. Those of us that are alive, are damn proud too.
Auburn sang its victory song, War Eagle, for the final time. 11 times they sang it in 1983 and showed once more the indomitable will of Auburn men, even in the face of tragedy.